Hello, Grissom Choir. This is Level 9 Music Theory Review. The main concept on Level 9 is minor triads. In Level 6, we were able to figure out how to draw major triads. Level 9 with the minor triads is almost the exact same thing, just one small little tweak at the very, very end. So a minor triad, drawing and identifying these minor triads. All that a minor triad is a major triad with a lowered third or a lowered middle note out of the 1, 3, 5. Let's remember some things. This has nothing to do with the 3 half steps moving on the piano from level 7. So this has nothing to do with identifying a relative minor based off of the major. You always have to think like you're in the key, the major key of the note that is given or the key signature that is given to you. You make the triad or the chord major first, so you do level 7 first, then you lower the middle note, the third note. Well, technically the second note that you drew, but it's the third of the chord. Numbers always Numbers always signify the intervals. Triads have a root note and a type. Always write the accidentals right to left when adding them. So let's look right here. If that middle note is sharped, it will then become a natural. If it is already a natural, it'll be a flat. And if there's already a flat there, it will become a double flat. This first little example right here is A minor. So A minor, we're going to draw the triad chord first based off of the bottom note. So remember, chords are either line, 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 or space, space, space. Let's figure out where A is. We're in the treble clef. A is the second space. So we're going to draw a note there. Then we just go space, space, space. So we have A, this note, and this note. That would be A, C, and E. Second portion, we have to list the ingredients. We have to list the sharp or the flat notes that are in that key. A major is a sharp key. Based off of our knowledge, I believe, of 4.3, we know that the 3 sharps that are in A major are F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. You've got to know 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3 in order to do level 6 as well as this level, level 9. We always put the sharps to the left of the note that is on the chord that is listed. So look at these 3 notes that we drew, A, C, and E. Is one or some of those notes any of these 3 sharps that we identified as being sharp in the key? Yes, and that is C. So we will put a sharp next to C. That is a major chord, A, C sharp, and E. That was level 6. Level 9, we're taking it one step further. To make this major chord minor, we will lower the third. We will lower the middle note, the second note that you drew, using an accidental. So, in this example, the C is sharped, A, C sharp, and E. So that C will become a natural. You should just write a natural symbol to the left of the sharp or erase the sharp. I would actually have you go ahead and erase the sharp and put that natural symbol there. So, what we'll do, we will erase the sharp. You'll put the natural symbol, and that would be an A minor triad. A, C natural, and E. Let's go ahead and do these first 2 examples together. G minor triad. Not G minor as in the key signature, but a G minor triad. We locate G on the treble clef, G, then we go line, line, line. Next, we identify the sharps or the flats that are in the key of G major. So G major is a sharp key. It has 1 sharp. That sharp is F sharp. Is F sharp any of these 3 notes that we drew? No, it is not. G, B, or D. So that means that this right here is G major. But we're not trying to find G major, we're trying to find G minor. So what you have to do is look at that middle note and lower it a half step. If there is no sharp or no flat next to it, that means that it is technically a natural. So that now means, if we go back up to this little example up here, the natural, lowering it, will now become a flat. So you must put a flat symbol next to that B in order for that chord to now be a minor chord. So G minor chord is G, B flat, and D. Second example, B flat major chord. Locate where B is. Go ahead and put that B. Then you do line, line, line. B minor. We have to find the flats that are in that key. Excuse me, not B minor. B flat major. B flat major, we have two flats, B flat and E flat. Comparing the three notes that we drew to these flats, you can go ahead and put that flat symbol next to the B, and there is no E that we drew. So this right here would be a B flat major chord, but we're not trying to find the major chord, we're trying to find the minor. So on that middle note, there is no sharp and no flat. It is technically a natural. So if it is a natural, we will lower it a half step and put a flat next to it. A B flat minor chord is B flat, D flat, and F. What I would like for you to do now is pause the video, complete these next 4 examples. When you're done, you can play it, and we'll see if you got them right. Moving on, D minor. First, just locate the D. We have a D right here. You do space, space, space. So we have D, F, and A. Now you find the sharps or the flats that are in the key of D major. D major is a sharp key. The sharps that are in this key are F sharp, C sharp, and that is it. There are only 2 sharps in D major, F sharp, and C sharp. Comparing these 2 sharps to the 3 notes that we drew, we now have to put a sharp next to the F, and that would be our D major chord. We're not finding the major chord, we're finding a D minor chord. Going back up here, we now can remember that the sharp turns into an accidental when we are lowering it. So, going here, we'll have to erase that sharp and put a natural symbol next to it. A D minor chord is D, F natural, and A. E flat minor. E flat minor, you could either draw it on this bottom line or the top space. I would choose the bottom line so that you do not have to draw a ledger line. So we have E, G, and B. E flat major is a flat key, so we have B flat, E flat, and then go one past it to A flat. Comparing the flats to the notes you drew, you know how to put those flats next to the notes if they're there, so you would have to put a flat next to the E flat and the B flat. Excuse me, that's not written on the G. That's not written on the B, it was on a G. So we have E flat and B flat. That would be our E flat major chord. In order to make it minor, we can identify that since there is no flat or sharp next to that middle note, that is a natural, but the natural now becomes flatted. So a E flat minor chord is E flat, G flat, and B flat. F sharp minor. Locate F on the treble clef. We have F, then you do space, space, space. So that would be an F, an A, and a C. Now you have to list the sharps that are in the key of F sharp minor. That would be F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, E sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and then E sharp. Those 6 sharps. Compare those sharps to the 3 notes you drew. Add the sharp next to the notes that are listed. So we have a F sharp, an A sharp, and a C sharp. All of them are sharp. That would be an F sharp major chord. In order to make it minor, we have to lower that middle note. That middle note is already sharped, so we would erase it and put a natural symbol next to it. F sharp minor chord is F sharp, A, and C sharp. Last example, G flat minor. Locate the G, draw the note, line, line, line. That would be G, B, and D. G flat is a flat key, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, go one past it to C flat. Look at those 6 flats. Put the flats next to any of the 3 notes that is listed. So that would be a G flat, a B flat, and a D flat. All 3 are flat. That would be the major chord based off of G flat major. Now we're making it G flat minor, so we have to lower that middle note, lower the 3rd. So go back up to this little example right here. A flat now becomes a double flat. So since that middle note is already flat in the major chord, we just put a 2nd flat. We double flat it. G flat minor chord is G flat, B double flat, and D flat. That is everything that is on level 9. It is almost the exact same thing as level 6. You just do one extra step at the very end. You lower the middle note by a half step. The sharp becomes natural, the natural becomes flat, and the flat becomes double flat. You must know level 6 in order to do this. Obviously, just like everything else after 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3, you must know 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.